Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heart with Hads. I hope you guys are having a great week thus far. It's Friday, and I feel like this week has just been a drag for some reason. I got back from Florida, as you know, my last podcast episode we talked about. I just gone from Vegas, talking about my Vegas trip and just like travel tips 101. And then I hopped on a plane to go to Florida that next day. So my mom, my sister, and I, we got up at 3 a.m. We drove to the airport, left, had a layover in St. Louis. It was really super early in the morning. And the Wichita airport, they don't have Starbucks. And I'm not a Dunkin's fan. So we got to St. Louis, got some Starbucks. I didn't eat anything because, like, there's one thing about me is it's most of the time I'm not gonna have my first meal until I've gone poop. And I don't know if that's like disordered, which I don't think it's disordered. It's just me like wanting to feel good and like get rid of my toxins. So I will like chug water, drink tea, like do a whole bunch of shit before I go poop. But luckily for me, I wake up having to go. So that's usually not an issue. I'll have like occasional constipation, which is normal, but I think it's fine. Like I'm usually pretty freaking regular. So I got Starbucks right when we got there to St. Louis, and I had not ate yet. I don't know if I got anything even to eat. No, I didn't. I fasted, so I had coffee, which has like a little bit of stuff in it, so I guess not technically fasted, but I was not gonna not go to the bathroom before I ate for whatever reason. I felt fine, honestly. I wasn't too starving with them when we got there. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starving. So when we finally got to Florida, it was like 11 a.m. So the time like goes forward. It would technically be 10 at home. Our travel day wasn't that long, but when we got there, like we were all starving. We got the rental car. By the time we got to the restaurant, it was like 12:31. So I just had my first meal that day. And we went to like a brunch breakfast place, and I got an egg white omelet with some peppers, veggies, peppers, I think some mushrooms, and then I got a pancake because I was like, you know what, I have not had any food today, so I don't eat this freaking pancake, and we probably won't eat again until dinner. And then it was just a whole freaking fiasco. So then there was like a Trader Joe's nearby. We got some groceries because this is one thing about traveling is get an Airbnb. You can get some food, get some groceries, like kind of stay like within your normal routine, and then have like other meals out. So we would usually do like we would go to brunch or we'd go to dinner. We would try not to eat out twice in a day, but sometimes we just did, and it would be like brunch and dinner usually, or like a afternoon. It was like a weird mid afternoon dinner. I don't know. It would be between 12 and no, it'd be between like 3 and 4. It was weird. I don't know. Everything was all messed up. That's kind of just how it goes when you travel. But so that day we went to get some groceries at Trader Joe's. Then we went back to our place. We checked in there. My mom took a nap, and then my sister and I don't know what we were going to do, but my sister was like, I really think my finger is infected. And I was like, girl, no, it's not. So, backtrack, our two dogs, Hosmer and Cubby, get in huge knockdown, drag out fights. Like, they're like, "Arr!" And their ears are like getting hurt, and like they're biting each other hardcore. And you like cannot break them up. It's hard. So, I have to like grab them by the backs of their neck to like pull them apart. Well, my sister was here. This was before we left for Florida, and she didn't know. So, she like stuck her fingers in there trying to get it out. Hosmer, like, bit her because she was trying to pull them apart. And when she did that, it was like started bleeding. I was like, oh my gosh, she's just being a little puss. Like, she's fine. And she was really hurting, I guess. No, she was. And then when we got to Florida, she was hurting really bad. It was super swollen and she couldn't move it. It was like numb. It was hot. So I freaking, the day we got there, I took her to urgent care, and then she went in there and they're like, this is infected. We're glad you came today. This could have gotten so much worse. Da 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 da. And so I left her there. I went to Target because like I need some clothes. I'm just gonna drop her off. Like everything will be fine. I go back and there she's like, I don't know what time this is. This is like 4 or 5. No, this is like 5 or 6 by now. And so they're like, you need to get a tetanus shot as soon as you can to make sure, like, you don't get rabies and, like, your dog can have whatever. So then we're, like, driving around to CVS and Walgreens to find one. They're all closed. She can't get a prescription. She can't get the freaking whatever it's called. Tuberculosis. Is that it? What did I just call it? Ugh, I don't know what the shot is or the vaccine is, but they told her to go get that, and then she had to get an antibiotic, and I just felt bad because I'm trying to help her on this journey of like gut health and fertility, and antibiotics are so bad for you, and I'm so against them. But I guess she needed it. Who knows, really? Anywho, that was the first night that we finally found a place to get the meds and the shot. So it was a very eventful first night. That first night we got takeout. No, we didn't get takeout. What am I saying? We DoorDash because we were just so tired from traveling and waking up early. So my sister and I both got California Pizza Kitchen, which was pretty good. I'd never had it. Excuse me. This is what I get for podcasting later in the day. I never had it before, so I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I think it was like a mozzarella. What was it? Oh, margarita. What am I saying? Mozzarella. And then I added chicken. I tried to add double chicken, and like when I tell you there was like 10 pieces of chicken, that's the thing that's so annoying. People, I need my protein, okay? I need that shit. Anyways, the next day, it was probably the sunniest day there. All the other days were super freaking cloudy, which is kind of depressing, but I figured it was probably from the hurricane, the storms, and all of that rolling in. Well, I don't think it rolls in there until like October is hurricane season in September, October in Florida, but from Houston and the Texas area, I think it's just like kind of brews in the Gulf Coast itself. So we were down in Naples by Fort Myers Beach, which was got hit by the hurricane back in 2022, I think, or 2020. I don't remember the year. So yeah, it's a really pretty area. But so the second day we were there, we went to the Naples Zoo, which was so little, but it was fun and much needed. And I feel like I was gonna pass out one of the days. I don't know why, but it was bad. I think it may be because by the time we got there it was like noon and like I didn't eat lunch. I had only ate breakfast, and I don't know, I kind of get like not feeling well if I don't eat like a second meal. It's bad to say, but that's facts. And it was extremely hot, like 100 degrees, and it's if you go to Florida, you know it's super humid there. But it was fun nonetheless. We saw monkeys, and my mom was like, "Oh, I want a pet monkey." And my mom, like, she will get what she wants. So I'd be surprised if she has a monkey at some point in these next couple of years of her life. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, we had fun with the zoo. Then we went to like this cute little healthy place. Um, it was like outdoors, but I got like a Brussels sprouts salad with chicken salad on it. So it's like, if you know what chicken salad sandwiches are, it's like the chicken salad on it. I love those. They have like grapes and some like sweet stuff in it, really good. And my salad also had blueberries in it, which was really good too. So I kind of tried to keep that small because I thought we were gonna go somewhere bigger for dinner. Well, we ended up going to this like more like bar and grill type thing. It was pretty good. I just got some rice and some fish there, and we had like a big fried pretzel, which was so good. I thought I was gonna f my stomach up, but I was good. I was just fine, honestly. I tried not to stress too much about my gut because if you've been following along my journey, you know I've been having some like gut issues, and honestly my gut was so good the entire time I was there. I had regular bowel movements. I wasn't constipated, like they were good. The only day I was constipated was the day we came home, and I think that was just because lack of sleep. That last night I didn't sleep well. And the whole time we were there, it was so hot. They wouldn't let us turn our Airbnb thermostat under 70. And I'm like, I'm used to like 65 down in the basement. I'm very privileged and lucky down in the basement where I live at home, where it's dark and cool. But that's how it should be. That's how your sleep environment should be. So I don't freaking know. But it was just a little bit annoying. Anyway, that bar and grill that we went to was right next to the Holocaust Museum. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, we should go do that tomorrow." So that next day, or no, no, the next day we went to the beach, and that was fun. And then we went and ate at True Looks that night, which is like a really upscale seafood place. And my mom taught. My mom loves to make friends with everybody. If you know, you know. And the guy server, he wasn't even our server, but my mom was just like talking his ear off. My mom loves to brag about me and my sister, but was just like telling him about me, like, go follow her, like she's this influencer and she does bodybuilding and all this. I was like, Mom, stop, you're embarrassing me. This dude straight up did follow me though. I think he's like 30 something, he has kids. It was so weird, but my mom hyped me up so much, which is nice, but she's just like over friendly sometimes. But there I got sea bass. I was like, if I'm gonna go to a seafood place, I need to get some type of seafood, I feel like. So I got sea bass and I love sea bass. It was good, not the best I'd ever had. When we were in San Diego like 3 years ago, I got some sea bass and I thought it was a lot better in San Diego for some reason. I don't know. Could be like the different kinds of waters where they're getting the fish from, probably. Going from the East Coast to the West Coast. I like the West Coast fish better. I think it was more flaky. Um, but yeah, that was really good. That next day, I'm trying to think what we did. Oh, my mom got a massage. We did a little bit of shopping. I was like, I am not getting a massage. I'm not spending my money on that. So I got a free trial pass to LA Fitness, and they were trying to sell me on it. I was like, I don't even live here. There's not an LA Fitness even anywhere near where I live. There's not even any in Kansas. Like, back up. And they're still texting me to this day. So that's what I did on Wednesday. My sister kind of felt bad, so she didn't go with me. She kind of had a fever from, oh my gosh, guys. This is why I don't do this late in the night. From her finger being infected, so she wasn't feeling the best, which is fine. Honestly, she could use a break from like training too. She goes pretty hard. She's been going a lot harder than me recently because I've just been focusing on like my gut health and things like that. And I've also been prioritizing my coaching and business like so much. I wake up and that's all I do. Some of the days I won't even go to the gym and that's all I'm doing. So I'm changing my mindset. Actually going to, I've actually started like a new training program. I'm going to be training 4 days a week. Got a new meal plan, like more paleo style diet. Um, So yeah, I'm really excited for that because I haven't been able to go to the gym for 4 days in a week in so long. Oh my gosh! And then I'm also gonna be doing 3 days of cardio, 30 minutes each a week. Trying to do a little bit of a body recomp and clean up, so that I can maybe fully go into an effective build phase and try and build out for the rest of this year, so the remainder of this year. But essentially cleaning up some stuff first. So that's on the menu for me. Sorry, I kind of like went into what I'm doing fitness related wise, but I'm just glad to have more of a routine because I was kind of just doing whatever I wanted in terms of my training. I was following a meal plan, um, to a T, but now following I'm still following meal plan, but it's like I said, more paleo diet focused. If you're curious what paleo diet means, it just means like no refined sugars or carbs. So basically, I'm not doing any rice. I'm adding in more like micronutrients. So I'm going to be doing some cherry tomatoes, some like bell peppers, avocado, which I'm already doing. Still doing Brazil nuts. What else? What are some other things I'm adding in? I'm just going to try and slowly increase my fats. That's what we're doing to see how my body does with these increased micronutrients. And that's basically what paleo is. It's just straight up whole foods, no sugar. Obviously, sugar from fruits is fine. What else is added in? Oh, yes, I'm doing seed cycling. So I don't know if you've probably been following me. If you're listening to this, you do. So I don't know why I keep saying that, but my cycle's been irregular. So started seed cycling. So from, I think it's full moon to new moon, or just, that's what I'm following right now because my cycle is irregular. But basically, the first 14, day 1 to 14 year cycle, you follow the uh, sesame and what's the other seed? Sunflower seed. And then the last portion of your cycle, you do the pumpkin seed and the flaxseed. You do 1 tablespoon of each. So that's also what I'm doing. What other? Oh yeah, I'm doing like red potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots. Love carrots, baby carrots. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna be like a lot, very like veggie heavy and like feeding the good bacteria. Still doing my yogurt, so that'll be good. Love that. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'm gonna do a full day of eating on that new plan. Maybe not tomorrow. We'll see. I went to the grocery store before this, and then I got my new meal plan right when I got home, and I was like, frick. Like I went and bought rice, and I'm like, I'm not even having rice in my plan now. So I canceled my Instacart plan, but it's still finishing out till my subscription's done. So I freaking Instacarted my red potatoes, sweet potatoes, the cherry tomatoes, and the carrots. What else? And olive oil. I think that's it. Everything else is pretty much the same. I got some bone broth at the store as well. Yeah. So I'm excited to start this new meal plan. Hoping no gut issues here. It's because it's very like high in fiber. So we'll see how this goes. I'm super excited. Back to the Florida trip. So to the Holocaust Museum, we had a beach day. We had another beach day our last day, and it started raining, but it was so fun. Like it was a beach where they picked you up and you got on like this little tram thing, and they had to like take you all the way to the beach, which I'd never done that before. So I thought it was really cool and fun, and it was so chill and laid back. But I just love people watching. I think that's something I really highly enjoy doing. um, and I just really loved that Naples city. It was kind of a lot of like old money, if that makes sense. So like older people, like someone, I don't know who I was talking to, old boss. He was like, it's more like baby boomers, and I don't know if it was him who I was talking to. Who was I talking to? I don't know. Anyways, he said someone said it's more like baby boomers and their older generations, and so it's like definitely old. Like I kept telling my mom, like this is such a Lily Pulitzer having ass town. Like, do you know the brand Lily Pulitzer? These people were wearing Lily Pulitzer. Like that's just what it reminded me of. The vibe, so fun, funny, but it was good. There was good food. Every time we went out to eat, I feel like it was just a bunch of older people, which is totally fine. I just think that's the town and how like the feel of it. But as these people are like dying off, like the younger people are starting to take it over, but it's very, very like a lot of money. And so I could never live there. I couldn't afford it. I was looking at the houses on Zillow. Overall, it was just a fun trip, pretty relaxing. Didn't really do a lot, ate good food, relaxed. I took naps. I think I took two like midday naps while I was there, which I never do. I still worked, so like I still was able to check in with all my athletes, which is good. That's the beauty of the job that I have, and I'm very grateful for that. So, yeah, this week I'm training the person at my old job, like my new position, the person that's taking my job, and I'm done coaching full time. So excited. Continuously growing my roster. That's something that I'm striving to do because my goal in life is to help as many people as I can build a healthy lifestyle. And a lot of the like inquiries and people I've had recently have been, people are finishing college, like school, and they don't have this outlet that they feel like they belong to anymore, like a sports team, or like they're just trying to find like their new identity. So I think this is really helping. And it's showing too, like, because I was in their same shoes at one point. So really guiding them in the path that I was on and reminding them it's a learning process and I know exactly where it is to start where they were and from where they were, like, and where I was when I first got my coach to now is a completely changed person. Like, I would, this is so bad, but I was like not accurate with like on my plan as I maybe could have been. And I was just like wasting my time and my money. But it's all a learning process, like I said, and you have to just learn from your mistakes, ask questions. But it's so cool to look back on all your phases of life and fitness and just in general. So I wanted to make this podcast episode topic about like enjoying the phase of your life that you're in, and that we're always going through phases, and you can't get stuck in one, and you can't let a phase define you. So I'm just thinking, um, let me just think. So I would say like when I think my junior year at WSU, I'm just like throwing stuff out there. I was kind of in a phase where like I just wanted to have fun all the time. Like I didn't really care. I didn't really care about my grades too much, honestly. My junior year of college, I was just like, you know what, F it, like I wanna. And this is when I had like first met Brock, and we were just like he was partying, I was partying with him. Like I didn't give a shit about anything, but just like having fun and being with him, which is completely fine. Like there's a time and place and everything, but I feel like I didn't care about myself in a way that I should have. Um, and then around this time, like I got my coach, I was trying to be consistent. I wasn't super consistent, wasn't seeing the progress that I wanted. And I finally asked him, I was like, could I compete? He was like, you got a long way to go. And so I feel like then and there, I was kind of like, all right, I think I can like start shifting out of this and going into a different phase. And that's when I like went into a different phase of my life. And it was like, okay, I want to train hard and I want to like PR in the gym and all of this stuff, but I still want to have fun. So I was like still having fun, but being a little bit more serious. And I was still like with Brock and all this at this time. And then I went into my senior year of school, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm a bad bitch. Like, I'm going to be on my shit this year. Like, I'm about to graduate college. I need to get my shit together. And so that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to get all A's this year. I'm going to promise myself that I'm going to take my education seriously, take my bodybuilding seriously, because I want to compete next year like I know I can. So I took my whole build season very, professionally, and it did help me for sure. And, I worked at Supplement World. Like, I was still just like doing part time stuff, and every just thinking about like the phases, the eras of your life is really cool to look back on and see how much you've grown from that, but you can't get stuck in a phase. So it's hard, whenever you're doing something for so long and you have to branch out and do something new. And so even just looking back on this past year of my life, I spent half of the year, prepping for a bodybuilding competition, and I did that successfully, and I started a new job, and wasn't everything that I had wanted it to be. Found out like I don't really fit into the corporate world. I need to be working for myself, doing my own thing, which takes time. And so that was frustrating in itself. And, branching off and doing my own thing, like there's literally a phase for every single aspect of your life. I know I keep saying that, but this phase that I'm in right now is such an odd phase to me, because it's like I'm transitioning from someone telling me what to do, not necessarily telling me what to do, but like having these guidelines I need to meet for somebody else, into now I'm in this spot of like I'm the only person that I can sit here and like make goals and show up for myself for. And so when I think about that, it's really scary. But each day I have to wake up and I have these goals that I need to hit. And like this is what's cool, is that this is for me. Like I'm solely benefiting me. I'm not benefiting another company. Like even though yeah, I may be getting paid from it, I may be getting rewards and bonuses and things like that. Like it's making me, I'm getting better at all these skills of like time management, communication, and things like that. So I'll never take those things for granted that I have learned. But at the same time, like all of that has like molded me into like being able to go off and do things on my own. But I'm very self motivated, I'm very self driven, and I just think that this is going to be a really difficult phase for me. Like I started my own business. Like I'm literally learning everything as I go, step by step by step. And so I think that's such a cool phase to be in. And I'm probably going to be in this phase for quite a while, but also in this phase of like going back to, I was like bodybuilding for half the year, and I was like, now I'm focusing on my gut health for this half of the year. And there's just so much change that goes on too. And that's another thing, is like you cannot be afraid of change. And I I tell myself this every day, because like this is like a little bit personal, but like my boyfriend and I are like wanting to like potentially like live together, and it's gonna have to take some stuff for both of us to work out. I don't want to get into too big of detail, but like change is like gonna happen. It's like inevitable, and you can't what am I trying to think of? You can't run away from change because it's going to happen either way. And in order to know what something's like, you have to be willing to change from what you were doing before to something completely new. And I think that's really what a lot of people struggle with is they're super scared of the future. And who the heck isn't? Like I'm I'm always scared of the future, and like that's why I'm a pretty anxious person. I'm getting better. I am getting better. Okay. My anxiety, my stress, I don't know if it's from coming off of these trips that it's like a lot lower than it has been, if it's because I'm no longer trying to juggle two different jobs, but I feel pretty dang solid right now, and I cannot complain about much other than the fact that my boyfriend and I live an hour apart, and it that sucks. But it is what it is, and I'm just trusting in God's timing with that, that it's gonna happen whenever it happens. But moral of today's story is like the phases that we go through, we can't hold on to them, and we also cannot be scared to change and try something completely out of our element, because you're going to be stuck in the same spot forever. Mark my words, forever, if you are not willing to change what you're currently doing. You have to break away and try. And that's a lot of like I'm trying to like I'm doing that myself, and so I'm trying to mentor and like tell others that and put that on them is like you want this one thing so bad. You have this goal so bad to change, but you're not like willing to actually like make that first jump. So I don't this episode was kind of just to like recap my trip and also just tell like the phases of life are really cool and different. And I was just thinking about my phases of life. Like I went through, a phase where I cheered, like cheer was my identity. I went through a phase of dieting and starving myself thin. Like I see memories pop up and I'm like a freaking stick, like twig. Like I have literally no muscle, no body fat. I look like a praying mantis. Like I went through that phase, and I went through a phase of, like I said, like partying and like being crazy and living it up. And then I went through like bodybuilding phase. Like obviously I'm still in that, but this is more of like a whole growth shift era, and really having to buckle down and grind out where I need to become exactly what I want to be and be exactly where I want to be, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because I want to look back on, say, 3 years from now, look back and be like, remember whenever you were like so scared, you were so anxious for where I'm at right now, and just look how far I've came. Like, I actually can do it if I just stick with it and, keep going. So that's really what keeps me going too, is like I said, looking back on those phases and knowing, like, seeing how much I've evolved over time, knowing how much I'm really able to keep evolving into these other phases of my life. So I hope that kind of makes sense on where I'm coming from. Um, but you just have to stick with it. Like, there's no there's no going back. Once you start, you just have to keep going, and it what your goals are will come to fruition no matter what. So I want to leave the episode with a little quote. Oh my gosh, I get text messages during this, and I turn my phone on freaking D&D. Okay, hold on. Gotta find the quote. This is something funny that I've been doing. I've been getting on TikTok, like trying to change my algorithm so I can get some pretty cool videos to come up on my like For You page. So hold on a second. Okay, it's 7 truths to life.
Never ruin a good day by thinking about a bad yesterday. Number 2, ignore them. Don't listen to other people. Live a life that's empowering to you. Number 3, give it time. Time heals everything. Number 4, don't compare. The only person you should try to be is the person you were yesterday. to have everything figured out. Know that in time, you'll get there. Number 6, it's on you. Only you are in charge of your happiness. Number 7, smile.
Oh, shoot.
Life is short. Enjoy it while you can. 7 truths.
Okay, yeah, that was so sad. It almost made me cry. But I just want to end with that because it kind of just stuck out to me. And also, just like traveling made me realize that life's really not that serious. As much as I'm really structured and love working hard and like for my goals at the same time, it's not that serious. If something doesn't happen, it was meant to not happen. That's where I'm at in my life. That's where I'm at this point in my life is like, if it's not meant to be, like, it's not gonna freaking happen. If it is, it will happen. Like, stop trying to force things, you know? You can only do so much. And that's where I just want to leave this episode with. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's kind of a lot about me and my recap, but I'm gonna get back into the groove of things. Next week, expect a special guest because I'm traveling once again, twice again, 3 times again. I'm gonna have 3 more small little trips that I'm going on. Shocker. Um, but gonna have a special guest. So I think you guys may know who it is. It may not. I'm traveling to see her, so that should give you a little hint. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to give me a review on podcasts, leave comments on YouTube, whatever it is. I always love having your feedback and your support. It's Friday when you're listening to this, so hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.